Bigfoot's just blurry.
Is this thing on? Great. Welcome to the recap. Last time, we met 4 weirdos. Quincy, Chris, Naris, and Hangover Man. His name is Dusk? You sure? Sounds sus. Hangover Man, as he will forever be known. And they looked a little something like this.
He is eye-catching. That's a word for it. Nestled under that poncho are some folded up wings from a teal red orange gradient and a long tail. Chris, how tall are you? Are you taller than me?
I am 7 foot 8 feet with horns.
Well, that's a big lady.
I listen, I look like your typical like makeup butch.
Alright, well, so I'm a not super tall, not super large elf. Very, very gray.
He is a, I guess not as tall, but tallish, 6 foot elf.
You know, high bar.
He looks like, yeah, high bar. He looks a mess. He's wearing just like shitty looking leather armor and clothes.
They found before a jade archway a carving in the stone beneath them, in mysterious writing that could still somehow be grasped by their feeble mortal minds.
I can read every language, so...
Well, great, then still the same thing.
Overachiever.
It says, "Here rests the oracle, only to rise when the end is nigh." After meeting each other in a clearing, they fought 3 skeletons, and then got stuck on working together to get through a hole 10 feet up the wall. Inside, they found spooky carvings. Ooh. The carvings immediately next to you detail what look like 9 orbs held in 9 elvish coffins. Continues to detail a blue dragon taking the orbs from their coffins before being tricked by a god who stole the orbs. The god took these orbs and destroyed the world that they were present in, and with the power of these orbs and themselves created a new one. They solved a few puzzles, lost a bird along the way, and engaged with a hooded figure on the mindless dragon. A dark figure stands with their back to you before an altar with a woman laid out on it. With a lucky break, Chris frees the dragon, who's less than thrilled about what they've done. Oh, this is embarrassing. Their fates set before them, they each take a party role. Naris does so, but the dragon seems dubious? You go and step on the elementalist platform.
I'm already walking to the scout one.
I suppose Guardian would be most fitting to me.
I walk over to the warrior spot.
A warning issued, the party goes to another realm and claim various items, failing to properly interpret the subtext of Dusk's warning.
Don't take something you want to use. You'll regret it.
I walk towards the elementalist because I am that.
Well, the black bracers do seem to attract me a little bit.
I'm gonna go with the cape.
I will go for the bracers, the guardian pedestal.
With their quest completed, and everyone feeling less than satisfied, they head back to town to rest. Witzili sleeps lighter than most as a vision falls upon him. You're not sure if it's real or it's just a dream, but you just see the serpentine face just looking at you with those eyes that say, "I'm not angry, but I'm disappointed."
Ooh, god damn it.
That's what happened last time. Let's see where this continues. Cue the music! The next morning has come around. Dusk, what have you been doing in the meantime?
Chilling.
Chilling, hanging out, Alexin all cool?
Yeah.
Playing b-ball?
Outside the school.
Nice. So, once you're done playing the b-ball, coming back around to the tavern, you all meet up to discuss the next leg of your adventure.
Z looks... First, he has Zazu again now. So Zazu's out.
Hello, sir. It's so nice to be back.
You never really left, actually.
Well, I mean, my ears to be finally pleasant for once, but...
Yes. It is horribly painful being completely disintegrated by ink acid.
Look, I didn't know that was going to happen. Maybe I should have
You
planned
did,
better.
though.
I wanted to see if we could take the bottle out of the thing and you can fly. Okay, that's alright.
And it worked so well.
Zazu...
Do we know what that does? Out of curiosity.
What does?
The bottle that I
You didn't grab
used
it
my
that long.
life ever so.
It had a stone in it.
Oh, great! It had a stone in it.
It had
Oh,
a rainbow rock or something. You can tell by looking at Z, clearly didn't sleep that well last night at all. He still looks good, but he has bags under his eyes and is visibly tired and annoyed.
He looks like the romanticized version of insomnia.
Yeah, basically.
Like the cliche version, or like bags under the eyes, all that jazz?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
but
like
it
in the
works
movies.
with
It's like in
the black
movies
scarf.
Where, you know in the movies where everything that shouldn't look good looks good? Looks like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look, the first order of business with all of us is to remove these bound, cursed items, and that is not a request. I'm sorry to be pushy, I don't want to be pushy, but
You've been given no more options.
Look, I know a place we could probably get these off. We just...
I'm not that butthurt about the damn cape, but I am pretty butthurt about it getting in the way of my fun time last night, so...
Look.
Well, it sounds like you have your priorities straight.
Yeah, I do.
Well...
Look, we're going to the ink pond is what I was going to say. The ink pond, I should be able to convince God that, to maybe not have us be cursed anymore. You guys all see Z has hidden his scarf, the cursed scarf under his, shawl and regular scarf to make sure, he cannot see it. Look, I don't want the reminder of it anymore in my life. Let's just get breakfast and go. Alright? Does that sound like a decent plan?
I have nothing better to do.
Right. Just have a nice breakfast.
Zazu continues to give you shit about the worthfulness of his life in comparison to a bottle and a rainbow
Zazu,
rock.
you didn't die at all. Okay.
It doesn't make it hurt any less.
I feel
Aren't you like an immortal being?
Yes.
As immortal as any of us are, yes.
No, he's quite immortal. I can summon him again when I wish, actually.
I'm immortal in reference to you. I will one day perish. Hopefully that's
So
not before
does...
you are done.
Can you summon him without a mouth?
I can't control the form he comes in, actually. He's a bit of a boon item, I'd say.
I am truly a boon of experience and exquisity. And just begins to puff out his chest and walks all around the table, feet way out front with each step.
I told you I'd buy you blueberries if you did it, and I'm gonna keep up on my word if they have any in town. But
Yes, you should.
Sorry that you got disintegrated for us to get a bottle with a rainbow crystal in it. There.
I accept your apology.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna warn everybody, I'm gonna be a little irritable for a while, although I don't think it's unjustified. So, if you just... I don't know what I was gonna go with that. He just starts eating his food and shuts up.
You all consume your meals, and you set about looking for some blueberries in the short term around town before heading out. Z, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Ooh.
Can I pick up some arrows too?
Totally, yeah.
How much for 20?
Not proficient in
That's a
this.
great question.
Plus 3, 15.
15? Yeah, you find some blueberries. Farmer is willing to part with a pouch for... I'll give you 2 pouches for a copper.
Alright, I'll take that deal. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, you have 2 small pouches of blueberries.
I give one to Zazu immediately.
2 cans it up, even though he doesn't have that big of a beak. Arrows are... it's 1 gold piece for 20.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm getting 20.
Dope. And you set off. You make your way. Now you have 2 avenues of making your way south. You can go and follow the road, which will long-term probably be faster and safer. Or you can go straight through the woods and not have to bother with any towns along the way, but will have to deal with beasts and such other random things.
How far am I from home?
You are very far from home.
Oh.
You've traveled from where you were born. You're like on the opposite side of the country. From Aspen's house, you are like 2 weeks-ish, if I'm estimating correctly, which I might not be. You are very far away.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I personally, I think that we should just go through the woods. It's the fastest way, and I believe I've seen all of you be competent in certain things. You all seem to be skilled in combat, is what I'm saying. So, let's go the fastest way.
I'm down for
Sounds
whatever.
good to me.
All right. You all set off into the woods.
Nice.
Great.
Now, throughout your journey through the Badalure Woods and onward, what order are you going through? Who's watching the back? Who's leading in the front? Who's doing stuff in the middle? What's up?
I'm probably second.
I'll be sneaky quite a ways ahead.
I can...
40 feet ahead.
Z is pretty...
Second.
He's probably next to Chris.
All right. Neris, where did you say you wanted to be?
I'll probably be behind Dusk, but in front of the other 2.
Okay. Chris and Z hanging out in the back. Neris,
Yeah, if I
some
walk in the
distance
front,
behind
someone might
Dusk.
step on my tail.
You 2 are side by side.
Nice.
And Dusk is halfway in the front. Alrighty. Dusk, go ahead and, as you're going, give me a perception check. Neris, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Okey-dokey.
As, like, you're directing the direction that Dusk is going. As you've traveled these woods previously and know roughly the direction that you're going, since it kind of doubles back on the path you were traveling.
I can also offer my direction thing for use.
I got
you got
a 7.
a thing. A 7?
Magic
Well,
compass.
yeah. So go. You have this. This Dusk offers you this orb, and as you hold on to it, and you can tell which way is north, which is roughly at like your 5:30 o'clock. So you use that to adjust. Go ahead and roll again because of the advantage offered to you.
Oh, that's better. 15.
15? Alright. You have the party set on a pretty safe direction. Dusk, what'd you get for perception?
12.
12. Right. Oof, that was bad. As they're both actively going about setting a direction and keeping an eye out for threats. Z and Chris, what are you guys doing? You talking to each other? You on the lookout for specific, like, small beasts or materials or anything? You trying to harvest as you go? What's up?
I'm just keeping an eye out for any useful herbs that may come along my way to dry on my horns.
Okay. Go ahead and make a medicine or survival check.
I got a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
You find some, what would you find? At one point, you come across an olive tree. If you want to pick some olives, you can. But otherwise, you find a lot of just poison berries and weeds and other such negligible options.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on olives. I look disinterested at the olive tree, obviously disappointed, and then I turn to Z. So, I gotta ask, what's your deal with the scarf? Like, I know it's not great, but it's just a scarf, I guess. So there's obviously something else bothering you about it, if you don't mind me asking.
Well, I'd rather tell you than the rest of the compatriots here.
Well, I appreciate your trust in me, you know.
Oh, what can I say? You know some of my struggles with both height and having extra limbs.
Yeah.
But, no, it's just... Look, I don't want you telling the rest of the party this.
I mean, everyone's got their own problems, you know, and I'm not a dick, as, you know, foul-mouthed as I seem. I get it, you know.
Okay, here's the deal. I've been training and preparing for my entire life to to take down the many-eyed god, to lull it back to sleep, to be the elementalist. This is actually my entire life's work. This is why I was conceived, actually, and why I exist. And immediately, I fail. So that was
I wouldn't...
The very first task that I had to do was just to pick something, and apparently I've already failed. So I'm gonna try to rectify that before I get a horribly disappointed call from my father. So,
listen, I know way too much about bad dads, trust me. And I don't think you should beat yourself up about it. Like, I understand your whole life's work and all that, but you shouldn't look at it so much as a failure more than something to learn from, and we're already taking a step to fix it. So, and you're the first person that, you know, brought us to fix it, so I think you're pretty on top of it, and I think you should be pretty proud of yourself for that, because I'll be honest with you, if I had just gone home after this, nothing probably would have happened with this cape, and it would have just been a nuisance.
Thank you. It eases my mind a bit, but I will say I've never been trained to deal with failure. I've been trained to just do everything perfectly on the first try. So I'm just hoping to get this off and pretend that it never happened and then go on my quest. With all of you, of course. I know you're trying to put my failure as something to learn from, which I suppose it is, but the thing is, it shouldn't have happened in the first place if I did my job right. So,
I mean, you're allowed to feel bad about it. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad about it. You know, you're allowed to express your feelings, and especially if, you know, it's a disappointment to you, you're the only person that matters when judging yourself. So, if you think this is going to make you proud in who you are and what you're doing, then I think you should just go for it.
You know, you should kill a therapist after all of this is done.
I'm too fucked up to be a therapist, I'll be honest with you.
I think all therapists are kind of fucked up in the first place. That's why they get into the business.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. Huh. I guess I never thought about it. I dealt with my decent hand of shitty things, so... And I'm still dealing with shitty things, you know, it's a lifelong battle, but, yeah, it is what it is, I guess, is how I've learned to take it. I got lucky, so... Not everyone is so lucky.
You're right.
Oh my god, what is that sound? I'm sorry. And I look around to see what the sound is.
You turn and look to see a baboon.
Ew.
Actually, there are 3 of them, just all gathered up in the trees, just looking at you two as you're awaiting for dusk to be back from the scouting. You've never seen one, but
they were. That's a little suspicious. Just a wee bit.
one of them swings down and kind of approaches you, sniffing, and just keeps about 10 feet between you, just looking you both up and down.
Chris looks less concerned and more just like amused and crouches down and kind of does a thing at it and wiggles her fingers.
Make an animal handling check.
I got a 13.
13?
Yeah.
The baboon kind of eyes you and looks at your fingers and kind of starts to circle you, but only is like moving through 45 degrees back and forth. Or 90 degrees. Whoops. Yeah. Forgot how circles work. And then it begins to kind of slowly approach you another 5 feet.
They don't seem too harmful. I gotta be honest with you. I tend to attract a lot of animals, so nothing surprises me anymore.
I mean, you did follow an eagle. So.
I did follow an eagle, and you know what? I'm not taking it as such a bad choice now. I mean...
Oh, that's so sweet.
Z, you feel a weight being lifted from your waist, and you see that another baboon that you didn't realize was there before has a handle on your sword, and as you turn to see it, it pulls quickly and begins to dart off into the forest.
With my sword?
Yes.
Shit. Oh dear Lord. Oh god. Z immediately just starts dashing back towards it, like towards the baboon.
Roll for initiative. Well, not initiative necessarily, but it's not the best way to do this. No, it's not. You dart after it. Chris, the one that you were possessing, that's a weird thing to try and verb. It slaps its hands on the ground and darts up into the tree with the other two and begins to chase after Z and the other baboon as well. What do you do?
Fucking Christ. I'm gonna go run after Z and help, and I yell to the others, hey guys, baboon just stole some shit, so I'm gonna go help Z. I'll be right back. Stay here.
Neris, you hear that. Dusk, you are further along in the chain. Chris, you begin to take off after them. Neris, what do you do?
Oh, good lord. Well, I suppose I should probably... Oi! You're gonna run off and just tell me there's baboons?
They took my sword! I yell from, like, as I'm still running.
Lord almighty. Well, are there any animals nearby?
Not that you can see, no.
Well, I just kind of gesture for Spinner to just start to take a rest, and then I sit my back up on Spinner on the ground.
Okay. Spinner slumps into the dirt and you lay back. Dusk, you're still off doing your scouting, but you'll be back in a bit. Z, you are chasing after this baboon.
Correct. I don't want to hurt it, but also it has my sword, and I need that.
It has your sword coiled in its tail, and it is beginning to climb. It has now climbed up a tree and is leaping from branch to branch. What are you doing?
I gotta look up a spell real quick and see if it does what I think it does.
Ooh, a spell, a whole spell. Amazing.
It's a cantrip, actually. I just,
Ooh, a level 0 spell.
Lightning lure and try to pull it towards me with it.
Sure, yeah.
Target
What
must
does it got to
succeed
do?
on a strength saving throw.
Ooh. Wow. That's a 17. Miraculously.
My spell save is 17. I don't know what that...
So that would be a success.
Okay. So I pull him towards me and I take the sword out of his tail.
No, it succeeded against you. It got a 17 on its save.
Okay, sorry. I forgot the tie
okay.
rules. Well, I'm gonna try it again as I can.
Alright. You lash out this bolt of lightning and much like throwing out a yo-yo and whipping it back, you hurl it out and pull back the lightning as you think it's just about to lock on to this baboon, but it quickly just does a quick spin around the tree, and the lightning lord just misses and stands back on the branch and slaps its ass at you and continues swinging from branch to branch. The other baboons you can now see are swinging on trees on side to you, Z. And now, Chris, it is your turn. What are you doing?
How far away is the baboon with the sword from me?
From you, let's say, because they got a turn on you-ish, we'll say about 60 feet away.
Okay.
We'll say 60 feet away.
Okay. Well, I probably can't corner it at this point.
At the moment, no.
Is there something special about that sword, or can we just pick another one up on the way?
Oh no, that sword is very important. I cannot lose it.
Okay, shit. I'm brainstorming.
You can, if you just want to take your turn to run and catch up, you can continue to brainstorm that for next round.
Yeah, you can dash.
Can I roll for
Dashing will have...
perception?
Yeah, what's up? Sure, go ahead and roll for perception. Because you have dice now.
Yeah. I got a 14.
A 14? You see the baboon that slapped its ass and is carrying the sword is making its way away. The 3 baboons that were following it are also making their way, but you see... What would be something good for you? You see the path that Z is taking and following these baboons through is actually like right next to a much clearer lane. So like with the kind of line of trees and brush and everything that you're going through right now, there's a lot of knotted roots and things that just make it harder to run. But if someone were to be running on in the more open, flatter lane that's to the left, they would be able to move faster and catch up.
Oh, sweet.
Much more easily.
Hey, Z, there's a clear over there. We should probably go over there so we're not running into shit.
Aye, aye.
You take that information and carry on. Dusk, you return back from your scouting. Doesn't seem to be anything except some baboons. You return to Neris, who is just lounging with his giant goat Spinner.
I just look at him.
Neris, you can smell the approach of dusk.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Well, what you missed was there was these weird, I would have to say monkey creatures that came and stole some of Z's personal belongings, and now they're chasing him around the forest.
They got robbed by a monkey.
I think there was more. They said I think they called them. They might have called them baboons. They said there was an S at the end, so I assume there was multiple.
It's still an animal.
Next round. Okay. Z, you have now moved into this clearer path and are beginning to catch up to this monkey a bit more.
I would like
what are you trying to do?
Use another lightning lure because it's a cantrip.
Alright. What's the range on lightning lure?
It's 15 feet. So I don't know.
15 feet?
Yes.
The monkey would have, quote unquote, used its action to dash last round and used your action to cast it, so you have another 30 feet between you and it.
Well, I can run that. My speed is 30, so I can run up and do that.
So you're using your action to dash this round?
You said he's 30 feet away, right?
So he had his movement and he used his action to dash, so at the beginning of your turn, quote unquote, it's, yeah, I guess this would have just been an initiative. Whatever, it's fine. He used its movement to move 30 feet and then used its action to dash, so at the beginning of your turn is 60 feet away. So
I'm 60 feet away from this boy.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to... Yeah, I'm going to dash after him then, I suppose.
Alrighty.
I also asked Zazu to, like, go around so the baboon can't, like, move further. Just, like, spread out your wings, just be big and, like, block at him.
I will do my best, sir, and launches off in pursuit to cut off this baboon with your sword. The baboon keeps on going. As it's leaping and going, it's like it's spreading its cheeks at you. It's pulling down its eyelids and just being a cock.
Oh, I want to Eldritch Blast this man. It's just non-existence right now.
Their turns go by. It's now grouped up with the other 4 baboons, or the other 3 baboons, sorry. Chris, what is up with you? You used your turn last turn to dash. That perception check was free, so you're now only 30 feet behind Neris. Yeah, sure, we'll say that works out. I think I lost the math in my head there somewhere, but it's fine. What are you going to do?
You said I'm 30 feet from...
Sorry, from Z. I said Neris.
Oh, okay. Am I also 30 feet away from the baboons, or am I like 60 since I'm behind?
You would be 60 from the baboons.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess I'm just gonna try and catch up.
Alright, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
I got a 7.
Fuck. You are rushing and making your way, but you know, it's never been an issue for you before, but you realize it's very hot running in armor. It's very hot running in full plate armor. And Z's just rocking away and just much less clothing than you, and the baboons aren't wearing anything. It's rough. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, be like that.
It really do. So you move and run your way up. You can... do you have the description for your armor, or did I never give
No,
you
I have
that?
it. One sec. Yeah. Stop.
Let's just hope we don't fight a druid who knows this new metal.
Well, I'm gonna take off my cast off because A, it's fucking hot, and B, it's heavy.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Z, from behind you, you just hear the sound, as now you just see Chris is just starting to running man straight at you, tail wishing back and forth every way, the herbs and everything tied between the horns bouncing and jingling around.
I would like to describe myself now that I'm not covered in armor.
Please do. Please, by all means, have at it.
Now that I'm not wearing my armor, I am wearing loose pants, tan, that are hanging at the very bottom of my hips, and I am wearing a tank top that is ripped and loose, so it's showing my galaxy binder beneath it, and I am rather built.
The most butch woman I've ever seen.
A voluptuous woman, yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm sexy as shit.
You are sexy as shit.
Your armor was hot and heavy, but that's not all that was hot.
My armor makes me look like 10 billion pounds.
We will cut back to Dusk and Neris. Dusk, you have received this information. Neris, you are still lounging.
Mm-hmm.
So we just wait?
I assume so. I hope they can find their way back. But, for now, what's been going on with you, I guess?
Not much.
Okay, well, what, I don't know if we really should be getting to know each other right now after our friend's been, just had their equipment stolen by some, creatures.
Did they want help, or?
They told me to wait here.
Then I guess it's fine.
Yeah, so, is there any interesting facts I should know about you, since we're going to be partners?
What do you mean?
Cut to Z.
It's just gonna be that conversation on mute the whole time. That's what talking to Dusk is like.
Hang on.
Talking to Dusk is like talking to like a brick wall.
I gotta
It's
love
pulling
that
teeth.
guy. By the way, Z
It's not pulling teeth, it's crowbarring teeth. That's what feels like talking to Dusk.
Sorry.
Dusk is like the actual epitome of stop fucking talking to me. Your voice is like sandpaper to my brain.
I'm getting cut off my own edge.
Alright, Z. We cut back to you.
Hello.
You, with the clearer path and everything, you've now caught up to 20 feet away from the baboon with your sword. What would you like to do?
I would like to move up a couple more feet, because it's a 15-foot range
You
spell,
got
and I'm
as
doing
far as you can.
lightning
Yeah, well, you got as far as you can. Unless you're going to use your action to dash.
To do 5 feet of movement. Well, every turn I can move 30 feet without doing anything.
Yeah, I'm saying with your movement. Anytime we cut back to your turn, I'm assuming you've moved up your amount of feet to get as close to this thing as you can.
Well, I guess it'd just be another turn of running, I guess. Catching up to the bastard finally.
Alright, and Zazu is trying to cut an intercept, which he will now be able to do. What do you want Zazu to do? He's in front of this baboon.
Just like spread his wings out
has...
and like not attack him, just like do like a what you gonna do, bruh? What you gonna do? Like moving back and forth, like that kind of thing. Not like intimidation, just like block him.
I'm gonna need you to roll intimidation for Zazu, just as like trying to assert a form of like forest authority.
Okay, 1 second. I gotta pull up the stats real quick. I don't think they're that good.
Stop sign.
I don't think his intimidation is good either. I wouldn't imagine it is. Just with the voice and demeanor that he has,
no, he's the least
I wouldn't imagine
thing.
it's great.
He, like, reminds me of a fucking English professor that tries too hard.
Zazu was like a literal bitch, baby.
The baboon is gonna make a contested intimidation check against Zazu just to see if like it's also got a negative, so that's useful.
Intimidation
even though
is charisma, correct?
It is indeed. Yes.
Well, he's got a +0, so it's not negative.
It's better than the baboon, which I think is wrong. Baboons are fucking terrifying. They will rip your face off. They do not give a shit.
I rolled a 6.
It's a 6? Yeah, Zazu is up there just halt at once, cretins, and return the and is just the baboon actually grabs Zazu just full body and just keeps going, swinging by one hand, which is gonna slow it down further.
Well, he got slowed down.
Yeah, at least
he got slowed down. Zazu,
and Zazu is just trying to wiggle out.
Zazu with such like, that's how you intimidate people. That's how you think you can intimidate. Oh my god.
Rest in fucking
you
piss,
move.
Zazu.
Zazu, have you ever interacted with another like being? That's not how intimidation. Okay, I wasn't asking you to talk. That probably made it worse.
I'm trying. The baboons are moving along. Chris, go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage, I'll say, because you've had a weight lifted off of you, and
Nice.
I know that I have a hell of a... Just the difference short term is amazing. It feels great.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. I keep dropping. I got 17.
17? Hell yeah. With the immediate drop of your armor, you are just zooming.
Nice.
Z, you feel the wind billow past you as you catch Chris's backdraft.
Also, I have a fat ass. Fun fact.
If Chris wore actual shorts, they would spell out juicy on the back.
Yes.
Guys, we need to just have we need to make art of Z and Chris just wearing booty shorts because I think they both
Absolutely. Fantastic.
That's it. That's my request. Well, I mean, I can draw it.
Yeah, do it.
Well, one says juicy and the other says cheeks, and they're hip upping.
Nice. But you have an action. It's the baboon that you've now caught up with and are keeping pace with is like 10 feet up in the tree. So you have an action. Do what you want. What do you want to do? Describe it to me and give me the deets.
You said I'm like right next to it, right?
Yes.
But it is 10 feet up.
They are 7 feet tall though.
I'm
Yeah,
8 feet
that was
tall
what
with my horns, mind you.
Uh-huh.
So could I probably just reach up and grab its tail?
Yeah, you can try and do that, sure.
Okay, I want to grab the base of its tail and just
yeah.
fucking rip it out and like snarl at it. So should I take like an intimidation check?
You're gonna make an athletics check
Okay.
for me to try and grapple its tail.
I got a fucking 7.
It got a nat 20.
Motherfucker.
So here's what happens. You reach up to grab the tail, but it's slipperier than you imagine, and so your hand is just pulled back across it, and actually it gets pulled across the blade as it just whips its tail out from your grip. You take, you take 4 points of slashing damage.
I actually had razor blades to his tail.
His tail is just a knife.
It's a monkey. How hard could it be to catch?
Christ. How fucking okay, how deep is this cut? Is it like ow that hurts, or is it like wow stitches?
It's wow stitches.
God damn it! Which hand?
Which one would you have reached up for it?
Yeah, probably
your
right.
dominant.
Fuck.
Yeah.
God, I used that for jerking. I'm so fucking mad about my hand right now.
And we cut back to Neris and Dusk.
So, what part of the world do you come from?
A ways.
Wow, really? How much of a ways? Like,
Hey DM, how much of a ways?
I'm fucking losing it
About
over
a
here. I'm
year.
sorry.
A year's travel?
all right.
Neris, go ahead and make a history check, we'll say. Since this
I'm good
is
at those.
history or nature, either one, because this is geography, but
Okay.
also, yeah.
It's a 22.
A 22?
Yes.
A year's away by land would probably put Dusk being somewhere from like Norel, which is like on the opposite side of the world.
So
By sea, that would put Dusk as from a country called called Calibira, which has it's kind of like the New York of the world in a sense. Like, it feels like the center of the world, at least to Americans. This was a question I was asking myself earlier today of what other cultures and regions would consider like this, like the quote unquote center of the world.
I wouldn't consider New York center of the world.
I wouldn't either. I would
thought you were
put
more
it in
going,
like
it's a
Middle
melting
East.
pot. It is a
Cultures
it's
just
something.
tend to center their world on themselves.
I mean,
Yeah.
When you ask a New Yorker, they're gonna say it's a center.
yeah, kind of. But the thing is like whenever you watch a movie, it's always like set in New York, so it's kind of like a global hotspot. I'd
Right.
say more like a center.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, well,
Like a pop culture center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is it about
But
like
that's what you could guess.
a year from on foot or by character by what?
A bit of everything.
Ah, okay. It doesn't narrow it down too much, but hopefully we can get to know each other better. Do you have any questions for me at all, or?
And cut to Z.
It's so weird. Why are you like? Oh my god.
Dusk gives no shits. Dusk does not care about you or where you've been.
That's a good read.
Dusk only cares about Final Fantasy.
He actually runs a Final Fantasy roleplay forum.
Yeah.
That's a secret.
A forum where there is no
Ain't a secret
internet.
anymore. Derek from school found out about it and has been telling
All right,
everybody.
back to D&D. Stop talking about your roleplay forums.
Okay. Z, am I finally close enough?
You are finally within 15 feet.
Oh, thank God. Okay, lightning lord, please.
You're actually within 10 feet because of Zazu. Yeah, go for it. It has to make a strength save,
It
right?
has to make a strength saving throw.
And your DC is 17, so that's a 14. It failed. That's a 15, sorry. But yeah, it
It
fails.
fails. It's pulled 10 feet in a straight line towards you, and then take 1d8 lightning damage if it is within 5 feet of you. It is within 5 feet.
Yeah,
of you.
roll that damage.
Oh my god.
Yes, it will be, yes.
Okay,
Roll
let
that
me pull
D8,
out,
yeah.
Let me pull out a D8 real quick. I keep finding D10s, but that's like not at all what I'm looking for. I gotta organize my dice someday. You know, I'll just...
Big fucking mood.
Well, I have a dice bag is the thing, so...
Yeah.
But it's not... Oh,
Me too.
oh, look at that. It's 8. It takes 8 lightning damage. Except...
Love how all this time you spent not shooting at the monkey and you may have just killed it anyway.
I may have just killed it, but at this point I'm just angry.
Yeah, I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah, so see, you have this whole welling of emotion, like the failures of yesterday and the misgoings of today.
This
And
whole thing has
just-
made me so mad. In character.
Like you're blinking back tears just thinking about it, and just with this, you're like, fuck it. And you whip out that yo-yo of lightning and you rip back the baboon, who immediately... And as soon as it comes within range of you, there's just a blast of electricity, and this baboon, like, so popcorn, right? The insides of the baboon are now on the outside, and they smell very charred, deeply so. The lightning just passes along into the sword, which magnifies it to such a degree that it's just gone. And the worst part is, maybe it's better, maybe it's not, that it didn't even make a noise upon getting shocked. The other 3 baboons that are in the trees all just look down, and
their friend is
immediately are just like, fuck this shit, and they get the fuck out. You have reobtained your sword.
I put it back on my side. I awaken Belt to just keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think the party knows about Belt.
No, please describe Belt.
Alright. So you see as Z kind of goes down, he looks at the belts around his waist. You can't really see it too much, but like he pulls up his scarf a bit. Not scarf, the shawl a bit. And he, revealing his like belt that it currently just looks like a belt made of gold that looks like a snake biting its tail to stay on. He just like taps it, and then it turns into an actual snake, a golden child specifically. And yeah, now I just have like a snake around my waist who's just kind of protecting my sword.
This black kind of iridescent scaled snake is looped around kind of Ouroboros style with its tail in its mouth, comes to life and immediately kind of spits out its tail and recoils with its tail around its neck and rotates it around so that it is just staring at the sword.
There. Yeah. Perfect. Ah, you're such a good boy, Belt. Ah, I love you so much, and I give him a little head pat. With, like, one of my fingers, I just, like... I'm not like yeah.
Please. Help. Hello.
Oh, Zazu, right, he's, somewhere in the innards of the baboon.
Hello.
I, take my, like, sword, so I don't have to, like, touch it myself, and just kind of, like, brush away some of the guts.
You see, laid out, feathers spread, just looking absolutely lost in the sauce, is Zazu.
He looks like that meme where it's like the chihuahua just sitting in the marinara sauce. It's like only
he
his
looks
head.
exactly like that,
sauce,
yes.
my dude.
Okay there,
goodness.
Zazu. Kind of, emotions got the best of me. Didn't mean to do that. You need help?
He leans forward and just kind of dizzily rocks for a second before looking up at his surroundings. Oh, goodness. I was afraid of what they would have done to me. Oh, God.
They probably would have gotten annoyed and let you go, to be honest.
Oh, no. I was fearing things much worse, like they would have made me put on a jester's outfit and danced around singing Kumbaya or whatever.
Zazu, you are...
I don't think they're that bad.
It's a small world after all.
Zazu, they were
I'm surprised they didn't just bitch slap you when they heard whatever came out of your mouth.
They probably would have just thrown you to the ground repeatedly.
Yeah.
That's about it. They don't...
Can I go into the nothing space, please?
I wish I had a nothing space.
I would say yes, however, because of the cursed item that shall not be named, I don't have the ruby anymore, so I'd have to pay to get you back.
That's not true. Just like with Find Familiar, you have to pay to re-summon it, like re-manifest it.
I don't usually have the spell Find Familiar, so I don't know.
It's okay, I do. But
fine.
yeah, it's just an action. You can snap it in and out.
You can go into the nothingness.
Thank you.
He is in the nothingness now to just chill.
Chris, you see the body of Zazu is just whisked away into feathers and is carried off by the wind.
I'm pretty fucking focused on my hand right now. I'm gonna do hands. My hand hurts.
Good.
Sure, yeah. You
also, I got a weird
lay
question.
on hands. Yeah, go for it.
So I looked in the handbook,
questions.
but it doesn't say anything about tiefling blood. Can I choose the color of blood? Because, like, I think that would be pretty cool.
What do you have in mind?
I wasn't thinking anything, like, super obscure.
I don't care how crazy you're going with it. What did you have in mind?
Oh, fuck that then. I'm just gonna have galaxy blood.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, like,
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Blood that matches your skin color. And I was like, it would be red. And I was like, wait.
Yeah, see, I was thinking, and I was like, nope, fuck it. But it's not going to be like the blue galaxy I have on my binder and stuff. It's like a red, purple, and black galaxy. So it's like blood, but it's like, wow, that doesn't look good, my guy.
Okay, yeah, totally. Great.
Like
nice.
Blood that went through the dishwasher.
Yeah,
yes.
A little bit.
Would Z have weird? Would Z have weird blood as well? I feel like he might, but I don't know if he's really bled in front of people. I think he's just been acid burned.
Yeah, that's true.
My flesh turns into pixie dust when I get burned.
I don't think Z has been in many situations where he would have been cut or like bled.
Shit, man, it'll be a surprise for me too, man.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll probably be a surprise when he sees. He might know what his blood color is. I'm gonna keep it a secret. I know what it is now. I've thought of it, but like when he sees other people's blood, like when he sees your blood, he thinks that's normal. Usually, like he's like, yeah,
he is.
That's blood. Yep, that's blood.
He understands that he is the exception.
Yeah, he understands. Yep.
Great. You guys begin to move back, and you collect Chris's armor. Dusk and Neris, you guys are still talking.
Talking in quotations.
Not really.
Yeah, in quotations.
You two are still interacting.
Exchange, but it's not much.
It is nothing.
So, just, I guess we can just sit
Hello,
there.
we're back.
Silence.
Sword to sword.
Oh, thank God.
I feel the aura of a very bad family reunion.
Yeah, it's like when you're trying to talk to your, like, 13-year-old cousin, because, like, your uncle was like, hey, man, can you, like, talk to them? Like, they're being kind of, they think you're cool. And you go over, and they're just, like, on their phone with their, like, hood up, and they're just...
Well, you go over...
what this is.
Well, it's like you go over, and you can tell that they literally have never given you a second thought in their entire life, and you're like, I hate you.
That's Dusk and Neris.
Yeah, warm.
Neris, hangover man, how are your laying abouts while we did our thing?
Well, we had quite the fruitful conversation. I found out that, Dusk and I were just chatting, and I found out that, actually, I didn't really find out anything.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
No, that seems normal.
Hangover man is kind of secretive and edgy. Ooh. Special.
Well, do you have any questions? I mean, maybe we could get to know each other on this.
Oh, maybe, I don't know, DM, how long would it take? Would we have to spend the night in the woods?
You don't know.
Well, when come nightfall, maybe we could have a campfire. I've never actually had one of those, like a bonfire, and we could, like, talk about stuff. Or, like, roasting thing. I've never done that. Well,
I would love
Thomas.
to have a jam
Yes.
right now.
What's my read on Z?
Make an insight
Have you ever
check.
heard
Like,
of,
what do you
Have you
mean?
ever heard of, like, somebody who's fun? Sorry, that
Based
might be
on my
question.
character, is he somebody I would immediately not like?
Yeah,
You can decide that all on your own. I'm not having any part in that.
I like you either right now.
That's fine. I just realized something based on that.
you just look at Z with like a great disappointment. You're like, oh,
Here's what I'll
just
say.
an eyebrow raise.
buddy.
To the credit of Z's, what's your charisma?
20.
Mine?
My charisma's a 20.
Oh.
A 20? While many of the ways that he's interacted with you thus far have seemed overall disinteresting and other such things, it's something where you may not necessarily want to talk to him outright, but it's like a contagious laugh. Like, it's a contagious conversationalist.
He's just too handsome. A literal 10 out of 10. With how Neris out here, like.
Neris is like a really awkward stepdad.
Hey there, kiddo. You wanna come out for a bit and talk?
I'm like,
Dad, I'm playing Animal Crossing.
7 years old.
It is going to take a bit of time for Chris to put her armor back on, so you do have some time to talk about that.
I could let's start a fire, and I can get some of those mushrooms and beans, and we can cook, and it'll be fun. I've never done this before, but we can tell stories and what I've read about those.
There's some dried badger meat. We could try and get that out.
I've never
I'll be
tasted
honest with you
badger.
guys. I know we just like started this, but I'm kind of spent, and I would be so down for just scavenging and having a jam, because I feel like I don't know any of you guys except for Z.
Yeah. Oh, a jam, you say? I pull a
jam.
guitar out that was on my back.
Oh, nice.
We can jam.
Yep, we're having a jam. I'm not giving you guys a chance to say no.
Well, I think I'll just listen, because I'm about as talented as a cement wall.
Oh, you're plenty talented. I saw how you took care of those undead.
I don't know.
Also, how do you have so much badger
really
meat?
nice.
Like, you clearly managed to kill a badger.
No. I didn't mean that. I meant in the musical variety.
Oh, I can see that entirely, yes.
You could tap on a cement wall.
No, I could not.
You could
I'm
try.
making a mistake.
What about you, Dusk? Do you play any instrument?
No.
Alright then. I suppose it'll be a solo act tonight.
You are so interesting.
The
Me?
gang starts a band.
The gang starts a band.
I gotta fucking look up what instrument I play because I can't remember what it's called.
It's literally just
technically, since it's fantasy, it'd be a guitar, but it's a guitar, basically.
It's if I'm remembering right, Chris, it's a kalimba, right?
Ooh.
Ooh, I love kalimba.
1 second. How do you spell that?
Kalimba.
It's just how it's just how
It's a hand
it's
piano.
said.
We all know what it is, right? It's the little like harp thing with the fucking
Yeah,
harp
acoustic
thing. It's like
trench plays them. It's got the little metal keys on it.
yes, that's what it is.
It sounds great, and I love it.
Yes. It'll put you to sleep in a moment.
It sounds like it would be over a baby's cradle.
I would like to go find some berries.
Yeah, guys, let's just have a nice meal in Bond. That's
Do you want to do it in the neck of the woods where the baboons are?
Let's move a little bit over, and that's where we'll do it.
Okay, I'm just gonna carry my armor because I really don't feel like assembling. Especially if we're gonna jam.
Sure, okay. Yeah, as you're going, go ahead and give me a survival check to find some berries.
To
find some nice edible berries. Then both of you make a check.
I got a 9.
I got an
9?
18.
An 18?
I got shit rolls, my dude.
As you're going, Chris is looking to the left, Z is looking to the right, and Chris just has the horrible misfortune of never fucking seeing a bush, while Z, you're on the other side just like, ooh, blueberries, ooh, raspberries, ooh, blackberries, and never a single poison berry.
Literally, my entire life has been bad luck, but also not. So I have so much bad luck that it cancels itself out, and I get the good luck sometimes.
Dusk, were you going to say something?
I just want to look for a good campsite, I guess, if that's what we're doing.
Sure. Go ahead and make a investigation check, perception, survival. Give whatever check you want to make it.
That's so unclear. I'm going to make a stealth check.
Sure, do it. Fuck it.
Well, it's a natural 20, so it really does not fucking matter what kind of check.
You find
the best campsite.
You sneak your way into a beautiful grove.
Is there like
flat
a little
ground.
stream and a waterfall?
There's a little stream, and in the center is a little campfire spot with stones in it. It's perfect. It's absolutely amazing.
The light is just shining perfectly.
Low-key feel like we're on someone's property right now.
Like, you come in here and like you're immediately just like, you just stop because it's so surprising of what the fuck is this doing here? But yeah, you found a fucking amazing place to hang out and sit and rest, and you don't see or hear any other people besides yourselves. The slight chirp of birds and the oncoming night bugs, little creak of grasshoppers. It's almost too perfect of a spot, but you look around just like looking for man-made stone or anything, and it's nothing. It's just a fucking dope-ass campsite.
I have a question. Is there a all-you-can-eat buffet?
No.
God,
that's a different campaign.
Okay.
That's not a joke.
Maybe, well, you have badger meat, right? We could just roast that, or we could go hunting. Whichever you prefer.
Is there already firewood, or should we collect some?
With a nat 20? Sure.
Okay.
It almost seems like someone was going to come back, and then they just didn't.
They died.
Probably.
But you don't see any of their stuff, so it's like, oh, maybe it was a good Samaritan camper that left firewood for the next people to come through.
Nice.
One can only hope.
Indeed.
Get all those berries and put them in like a nice
I come back disappointed from my lack of finding berries and just squat by the campfire.
I hand you a berry.
I am blessed on this day. Thank you, my good sir.
Oh, I found quite a lot on the right path, actually.
I'm just not having a good day, my dude.
Well, maybe some music would help?
I think so.
Well, let's get this fire started, and we can all bond and chat. How about that?
The three of us.
The three of us.
You all set about prepping up the fire and cooking the food and just making it overall appetizing and a pleasant night.
Do I have any? Oh, we get some, we get a whole stew going, because we got those beans and mushrooms and stuff.
Oh yeah, you're using that? Hell yeah. You go about and introduce all of that. How much did I say you guys got? I think I described it as like a sack.
Yeah, we got a sack of both.
We're all pooling it.
And then it was a smaller thing of mushrooms, I believe. Yeah. Okay. We'll say mark 1 out of 10 uses for the beans.
All right.
And you just use up the mushrooms, because it really isn't that much. Yeah. You go about cooking all of that up. Does anyone actually have cooking supplies? There's a way that you can
that comes with the
MacGyver this, but
bag.
Does it come with an explorer's pack?
No.
Okay.
It would come from a background.
I do not.
If anyone took
the folk hero background comes with like a big old
it comes with a pot, yeah. Which you could fill with water from the small stream.
Oh, I mean, it comes with a mess kit for explorers.
A mess kit would be for eating, it wouldn't be for cooking.
We can just make one of those. We can make one of those like wooden structures, because it's meat. For the meat, we can just
I'm not concerned about whether or not you guys can do this. Like, there is some way that you can make this happen.
Am I allowed to pick and choose what kind of herbs are hangling my...
Oh, are we getting a nice dry rub on this meat here, dude?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
You can decide 10 herbs and other things hanging from your horns and whatever, and when those are used, you have another slot that you can hang herbs and shit from. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull some rosemary and parsley from my horn.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you get a good rub, a good mix all around. Who's doing the cooking?
I can do the cooking.
It's kind of a group effort.
I can cook the meat.
Neris is doing the cooking?
Neris should cook the meat, I think. I feel like he just seems like the kind of guy that could make a nice steak.
Yeah, I can grill nice.
Sure, yeah.
We already established his stepdad energy.
No.
Neris, go ahead and make a Constitution survival check.
Okay. That's alright.
Ominous combination.
Let's see. So if I have... Oh, no, never mind. I don't have... Okay. That is 14.
14?
Yes.
You make a very passable stew and mix.
Nice.
You cook up the badger meat all nice and good. It was already pretty well cooked from when you first harvested it and had your night there, but you reheat it with the new spices, you give it a good rub, you mix it up with the mushrooms and the beans with some water.
Make it all fancy.
Great. You split around bowls across each other, and how's everyone feeling about the day so far? Chris?
I'm feeling a lot better than I was with all the running and slicing my hand up, but I feel pretty good. I had some connection with Z, which was nice, and I had some good laughs, and now I'm eating some food and chilling, and it's a nice night out.
Alright. Pick heads or tails.
Me?
And I'll explain what this is for in a bit. Yeah.
Tails. Yeah.
Tails? Okay. So... Okay. Ooh. Fuck. Alright. Cool. Okay. That down. Dusk, same question.
Dusk feels disliked. that's about the root of it.
Don't be such a
I don't
dick.
even need to flip for that one. Okay.
Just the worst.
Hey, you know that guy? I cannot fucking stand him.
I mean, he's kind of used to it,
we
but,
do literally call him like to his face.
Hangover
You know,
guy.
he could have taken it as a joke, but he decided to just be like, fuck you guys. So, you know what? Fuck you.
he literally, like, hardly reacts to it. You don't know
That's-
this.
That's fine. I like to pick and poke at him
Z.
because that's just how Chris is.
Whoa.
Same question. How's Z feeling about the day?
Z at first was doing really shitty, but you know, that conversation really helped.
All right.
Baby.
That conversation really helped me. Like, people in his life don't usually talk to him about problems. So even just like
Pretty
even
even
just
right
letting a
now.
little bit out, it's nice. And now he's just sure his sword got taken, but he got it back, and I think got that baboon got one. So I mean that also frustration. Overall, it's been emotional. Still like not the best situation, but he's hanging out with some people that you know seem really chill. He enjoys that because he's never really had. So.
And Neris, how are you feeling about the day? Not much has really happened for
No.
you, but where are you at?
You know, like when you have a nice productive day of not doing anything, but you still felt productive? That's how I'm
Sure,
feeling
yeah.
right now.
Okay. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails? Okay. So as the night goes on, you all are hanging out by the campfire, you're talking to each other, and these are the kinds of stories you end up telling to each other. So this is basically just set up for the scene of you guys hanging out around the campfire.
Should I roll performance for my
Chris,
guitar?
you absolutely should.
Oh hell yeah! I don't wait. Do I have? I don't have proficiency, but that's still a 23.
23? Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be important.
So it's
cool.
beautiful little melody. He wrote it himself.
It's this nice, very flowy piece of that just, it has a lot of trills at the end of phrases and just, it's
He
very
starts singing a bit
heartwarming and somber at the
during
same
some parts and,
time.
like humming. He's getting into it.
Yeah. So here's what's up with everybody, and it's amazing that it ended up this way. Chris, you end up telling a story of love. Dusk, you end up telling a story of loss. Z, you end up telling a story of fortune. And Neris, you end up telling a story of misfortune. So you're around this campfire, it's crackling and going, you can see the clear night sky above you. Yeah, have at it. The scene is yours.
Thomas, you're really getting into backstory this early.
Yes.
What can I say?
Chris, you're up with what's your what about you? So any stories to add to
What? I'm sorry. Well, I come from a not so great background. I believe a lot in chosen family over blood family because I had a pretty decently sized family and I never really fit in with my family. So I went off and I live with this amazing woman now. She's named Aspen and she's loved me more than I could ever ask of anyone. She helped me through a lot. And, you know, there's a lot that can be said about, like, romance love, but I feel like family love and platonic love is probably the best, in my opinion, you know? So, I mean, I just came from kind of a crap situation, so it's nice to feel loved. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have made it this far. So Chris doesn't really get into it, and you can tell that she doesn't really want to get into it. Not so much because of, oh, it's emotional, but more of like, I don't necessarily need to. She's more of like tell the general story of it, and if I decide to get emotional, that's for another, like, more intimate time with someone.
That was actually lovely.
Thanks. I don't tend to talk about this stuff very often. I'm more of a find a good time and leave sort of person.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, we are going to be traveling with each other for quite some time, though. It'll be nice to get to know everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
But on their own terms. Except for Mr. Hangover Man. We will be forcing things out of you eventually.
Eventually.
And after that, I do like a sick riff on my guitar. My acoustic guitar. Like a beautiful, like...
It's kind of like, you know how some groups will have like 3 guitarists, and so they're all basically doing a canon of each other? Does that make sense? But you do that all as just one person.
Speaking of which, since we're sitting in this order, Dusk, any stories to tell? I'm sure it'll be straight to the point with you, but it'll be nice to hear anyways.
Well, I'm sure at least you can tell, and I've sort of mentioned this isn't my first time doing this journey, I guess. And you, Neris, were talking about where I'm from, and it's a ways away, and I was doing this once before, and they're all gone now, and I ran, and now I'm here. So
Chris kind of like takes a deep breath, then deflates and kind of like leans over, like leaning back on her hands, and kind of leans over and is like, you know, I know I've given you a lot of shit, but you can open up to us. You know, I'm not a complete dick. I don't think any of us are really that shitty. So you obviously know a few things that we don't, and that's fine. But I want you to feel comfortable enough for you to be able to tell us that stuff, whether it's good or bad, because, you know, we're all in this together, whether we expect it or not.
I appreciate that, but I don't know very much at all.
Well, neither do we, so at least now we have something in common.
Yeah, there we go. Something for all of us to have in common. We have no idea what we're doing, even though I should.
One step at a time. One step and a tail at a time.
Well, I'm surprised you opened up even that much. Baby steps, I suppose.
Bravo.
By the way, Dusk has pulled out Farron and is just sort of watching her, like, flying around his fingers. Who is this?
A ferret?
Farron! She's my snake.
Oh,
you have a snake too. I let Belt do whatever at the moment, since he's sentient since he's alive again.
Belt slithers over from your pack, which they were just curled up on the sword and everything else, just playing guard dog, but comes and slithers over to Farron, and they both just stare at each other for a bit. They're not being aggressive towards each other, but just looking at each other. And then Belt goes back to your stuff and curls up again, still locking eyes with Farron.
Snake bite.
I'm feeling kind of outcasted right now. So I pull out my English Slop Galaxy Rabbit from my binder of holding.
You see Chris just reaches a full arm into their binder. Just like an arm goes into the shirt, and then it just seems to, like, you see the outline of it just disappear from the actual shirt, and then it seems to reemerge, and out from it is a bunny.
Aren't you supposed to pull those out of hats?
Well, mind you, this is not an average size rabbit. This is if you have a moment, look up an English Slop rabbit. They're fucking huge.
They are.
They're huge, and they're baby, and also, it's fucking Galaxy. It's not like a normal rabbit. You know, I would pull it out my hat if I could wear hats.
I'm not like other rabbits.
I'm special.
I'm not like other magicians. I can't
not,
pull
like,
rabbits
under
out of
magicians.
hats because I can't have a hat.
Yeah.
What was my story gonna be again? It would be
Fortune.
Fortune?
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose it's my turn in this circle. I play a nice little quick rift. A story to tell about. It's hard to think about what to say when, I've lived my life, so I don't think it's interesting. I'm not sure if other people would. Although I suppose the fortune of when I finally got to leave home for the first time, and it was an experience, I'll tell you that. A bit of a culture shock, I suppose. I didn't understand at first that I don't look normal, but people still treated me with respect, which was nice. And I even got, before I left, that's how I got built. Right before I left, my mother said that she'd give me luck, and as long as he was here, he doesn't actually do anything about it, but that she and luck would be on my side if Belt were. So, and it's really helped me during this whole ordeal of, I suppose, being out here. It's very different from while I was growing up. I'm sure it's pretty obvious, though. And honestly, I'm kind of lucky I've made it this far, with how little people really prepared me for the outside. But the outside also isn't as scary as one would think. Despite already fighting a dragon and stopping a sacrifice, and I did the hero thing for a while before we met, so I don't know.
Belt has come up and is encircled around your torso and is just given a snake hug. It's kind of like a swan hug, but it's a snake. Comes around the back of your neck and just has the head laying against your chest.
Chris looks at Z very sympathetically and slowly reaches a hand over, just like as a comforting. The hand has black fingers and claws, but the feeling is there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Should be rough, my guy. But, we come a long ways.
It's a lot less rough now, I suppose. Oh, I guess more rough with the recent events, but I don't want to talk about that, so I'm not going to. Play the guitar a little more. Not much of a storyteller, but I suppose that's just because I don't have much stories to tell, despite being a weird, feathered snake man. Well, Neris, what about you?
Well, I suppose I could... Are you all, familiar with the city of Nuskara?
I've heard of it. I've never been there, per se, but...
Actually, for this, everybody...
I'm just gonna go with no.
No one here would have heard about
I'm
it.
just going with no.
Even with I have +5 history, I thought, I'm sorry.
Even with that, you know of cities, and here's what you know. You know of every name of every city and town in Peerden, but Nuskara is not one of them.
Nuskara?
You don't know much about the world outside of Peerden, even.
That's what I get for being an isolated child.
It really is.
I'll be honest with you, I have, no sense of direction, so, have at it.
I don't actually know about that city.
Well, it's off-continent, but,
that would be why.
You see, it's, that's where I was, born. Sometimes I don't know if I was really born or if I was created, but, it's where I was...
feeling.
Where I was born. And, well, they value magic there more than they value anything. And, sadly, I was born with, absolutely no magic. I was put through magic school. I was raised lovingly until my parents were told that I would never have magic. Then I was cast away. I tried learning magic afterwards, but each and every time it was, it was a lost cause, so I gave up. And, well, I wouldn't be here if I had magic. I'd probably be quite successful on the other side of the world. But the past is the past. I don't know if it can be changed, but I doubt it.
Well, you seem to be doing amazing things without the magic.
Yeah, like you said, the past is the past, and whether you take where you are right now as a fortune or misfortune is of your own accord, so I guess make of it what you will.
I will say this now. I mean, who back at home can say that they're on a quest to literally save the entire world?
A
Well,
whole
if it
other
was
word.
still my home, I would certainly go tell them, but, my home is in the mountains now. Far from here. Well, not far, but...
That explains the goat.
Yeah.
You know, I actually raised her. She's quite young, actually.
Is she gonna get bigger?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
That's a good question. Her mother wasn't much bigger than this, but who knows?
I suppose none of us have homes in that regard, then. Well, I mean, I technically have one. I'm not going back, though.
Well, I like to think that Spinner is my home. After all, you can kind
She's
of
big
hide
enough
on
to
her.
be one.
You can hide. Yeah, you can actually sleep on her if she's gentle enough.
If she
Spinner
hasn't had enough of you already.
Spinner leans down and starts munching on Neris's hair.
Amazing. She loves you.
Well, yeah, she's my best friend. Very important to me.
We all
give
need
her a
someone
big old
like that.
And as that story trails off,
I'm playing backup.
everyone
guitar
make
for
a
all of these.
charisma save.
What's it?
Charisma.
Oh.
Charisma.
That's a 19.
19. Okay.
13.
Chris.
Ow.
13 for Dust.
We're rolling for charisma, you said?
Charisma saving throw.
Yes, a charisma saving throw.
So okay, so do I just add regular charisma, the modifier?
There should be a separate section somewhere in your character sheet that says saving throws. It might be with abilities and skills. But you're a paladin, so it'll be your charisma plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay. So I got 15.
15. Okay. Dust got a 13. Neris.
You're gonna like this one. I got a good old 0.
Nice.
He just opens his mouth and
I
fucking
like
still
that.
rubs up on everybody.
I like that very much. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Z got a 19, 13, 0. Sorry, Chris, what did you get again?
Me? 15.
Yes. 15? Yeah. Okay. You realize you don't know how long it's been since Neris's story ended, or since you opened up your eyes. You're looking around, you can tell it's still dark, the campfire's still going. You all see around you as the trees begin to shift and distort, and you see the people around you are upright and seem to be in various dazes. You begin to feel your thoughts kind of rush, and you begin to ask questions that you already know the answer to, but you come to those solutions faster. And one by one by one by one, you all pass out. Now we're going to start with Chris. Chris, you succeeded on your save, and you were feeling good about the day. So, what kind of questions have you been having, just in life in general?
If Aspen is worried about me, I have been gone for a while, and I am quite a ways away from home, so I just kind of want to know how she's doing, if she's worried about me, if I'm gonna make it home at all.
Okay. You have a dream. You're back in the woods where Aspen's cabin is. You have something on your back. You're carrying something. You're not sure what. You're making your way into the cabin, and as you enter, Aspen is there drying some herbs and pounding out something in a mortar and pestle, and she smiles over to you, and you know Aspen loves you, and she misses you. Of course she does. Why wouldn't she? What else are you asking yourself as that question comes to a resolution?
I guess I've made a rather decent connection with Z, and I'm kind of conflicted about it because Z is very attractive and Chris is a slut. But also there's like another feeling there that isn't quite like what she feels towards Aspen, and she's really confused about it.
Yeah, your path begins to kind of fade with a various overlying diamond patterns. The scene around you falls into black and begins to be overcome with just various designs of impossible pink and pure bright green. It's somewhere between a fractal and a mandala, and you feel erogeously stimulated as the faces of Z and Aspen and your many, many other lovers come to pass through your mind. And you come to a resolution that Casey might know. I'm not sure if you know, but you would be the one to determine it, of what the answer to that question is. And yeah, you have a very nice, loving dream. Dusk. As you fall away into this discomforting rest, you haven't slept in a very long time. Where does Dusk usually go to when he trances? What's that scene usually like?
Just empty woods. And just searching for hours until he wakes up.
After passing through this veil of various incomprehensible designs that you won't remember later, and just having the pressing feeling of a headache, you find yourself in the woods. You know which woods you're in. You're in the woods from that night when your party was burned alive. And as you think about that, your perspective begins to follow the route you took that night. Just scouting around, making sure nothing was going to come from behind you. And as you come back, you hear the burning of wildfire. And you peek through the bushes to see a genasi being burned from the face and insides out, completely eviscerated. What was supposed to be the fire elementalist of your group completely consumed. You see a halfling in plate come up and try to attack the black skeletal flaming man with horns in white robes. Is attacked by this halfling, and with a flick of a finger, she's gone. And then you turn to see the body on the ground of a drow tiefling you once knew. Out of his armor, because he liked to sleep, is there bleeding out on the ground. The skeletal figure does a glance around and stares directly at the bush you're in, and that unequivocal fear begins to build up in your throat and throughout your whole mind. And then, with a twist of space, that skeletal figure is gone, and you go out and try to comfort the dying body of Gray, and all of the regret and remorse and sadness just wells up and consumes you. Z.
Yeah.
You got a 19, and you had fortune.
Mm-hmm.
You call back to that day when you were leaving and you received Belle.
I could finally see
And-
outside the book.
Yeah, you finally see the outside world, and it's great. It's not as you remember it. It's much more vibrant, and the sky is full of rainbows. The clouds are still the same, but anywhere where there's light is just cast in a multitude of different psychedelic colors, and it's amazing, and you feel great. What questions is Z asking himself?
Am I a disappointment I've already messed up, and I've already, well, in his eyes, completely failed the quest, although he's trying to get it fixed, but is he ever going to live up to the expectations that have been placed upon him since his conception?
As you think that, like...
Is my dad gonna just randomly come into this dream like he does sometimes without warning?
Like a filter over your vision. It's like you're seeing a JPEG in front of your vision, if that makes sense. Semi-transparent.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But it's the vision of your father. Of this grand coatl, wings spread out, looking epic as all hell, but in this moment, you just feel fear. And then it flashes again, and it stays there, of the face of this serpent, just looking at you, eyes slitted, and the pressure builds up around you, and the bright sky begins to feel so much closer, to the point that you're curled up and just staring into the ground. And in this space, you close your eyes and try to cover them with your hands, but you can't stop seeing that image of your father. And then we go to Neris. Now, Neris, you got a 0.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. You also had misfortune, which is even more rough. So, as you fall asleep, you stare into the same blackness you've stared into your whole life whenever you go in to meditate. It's been the same for years. You've never been able to master the magic of the trance properly enough to properly use it as a place to meditate and think in the way that other elves have described. And in this dark space, you begin to see colors. You begin to see reds and yellows and greens and blues and purples, all flashing and ebbing in and out of the darkness. What questions are you asking yourself?
This has never happened before. Why is it happening now?
As you think that, and you begin to wonder, you begin to see more and more into this darkness. And what was previously just this dark space begins to shine over with, again, these different fractals and mandala type effects with bright pink and impossible green, and just so many impossible things that you never would have conceived yourself to be able to see. And as you see into this new void, you see a face. It's insectoid-like. It has many eyes, and it seems to have a reckless amount of hair. It's very hard to tell, but at the bottom of its face it has these many pointed teeth, and it seems to have these small little insect-like arms with 3 claws at the end, but it seems to just emerge from this space, and it's staring into you, and you know that this is the thing that is letting you be here. What do you ask?
How are you affecting me in my meditation?
And while you can see the words themselves appear in front of you, kind of like an Instagram story a little bit, but more just a projection of your own thoughts into this space. You see the words, "This is no meditation. This is the realm of dreams." What do you ask?
I mean, I've never dreamed before. I don't think I've ever even slept before. I mean, or regardless of sleeping, I don't think I've ever had a dream.
As all of these thoughts are racing, you again procure some question. What is it?
What is your purpose of being here? Or,
And the words appear to answer.
Okay.
You and I, Owen and Thomas, are gonna take a bit longer with this interaction, but everything that's happening here is happening within fractions of a second.
Okay, I see.
At least that's what it feels like.
So now that I've answered your questions, are there any questions you have for me?
I am all-knowing. I ask no questions.
Understood. Are you the one I've looked up to ever since that night? The one who transformed me, perhaps?
I bear not that name, but it is I.
So, I'm the one, or you're the one I've been praying to. Essentially the last, 10 years of my entire life.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I've been calling you the Night Father. Is there a certain name that you would rather me call you?
Existence.
Interesting.
That answer alone begins to send you into a spiral of just question and answer of, if this being is existence, then does that make me a part of it? Does that make everyone a part of it? It must. And as you begin to spiral on and on, you see that face fades away and you go into blackness. And you all awaken in various degrees of groggy. Maybe groggy isn't the right word. You all feel mentally exhausted.
I always do when I wake up from my dreams.
Chris
But
slowly sits up and puts her face in her hands, not carrying that normal peppy charisma, the immediate slapback sass that she usually has. She just seems very drained with a heavy heart, and it is very unlike her demeanor.
Chris, you alright? You don't look well.
She slowly looks up and over, but then forces a little smile. It's ingenuine, but trying to be reassuring, and she slowly shakes her head. No, I'm fine. I'm just...
It's okay to not be fine.
No, it's just talking about home yesterday,
You had a dream.
Yeah, I usually do. But that was, it was kind of heavy.
Dusk, did you have a dream as well? Did you
He
have
just
a
kind
dream?
of is staring off into the distance.
Elves not dream.
I've never had a dream in my life until last night. Listen, I can't.
I may not need to say this, but I just want to make sure this is fully understood. To everyone, each of those dreams felt vividly and unsafely real to various degrees.
Okay.
In terms of like the lack of safety, like for Chris, it probably felt the most safe that Chris has felt in a while. But yeah, across the rest of you, that was...
I'm gonna be honest, Z has a lot of shitty dreams like that. His dad is an asshole.
Listen, I'm not exactly who I may appear to be, but if we all had similar dreams, which I'm assuming, I'm not going to ask you what it was, but if your dream was as mine was, well, it almost wasn't a dream. It was so real I couldn't distinguish it from as though I were moved from this plane of existence.
It was so warm to me. It just really makes me miss home.
My dream started out warm, it was me finally leaving home, actually, and seeing the outside world for the first time and all of the color, and then things happened, so, but that's not important, I suppose.
Chris is just very out of it, it seems, and
Chris,
eyebrows furrowed.
If you don't mind, where do you live? We could always swing by where you reside and say hello if you're really worried.
No, I'm not so much worried. I'm a couple weeks out from home, and I don't know, this adventure just seems kind of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back, and it's kind of heavy. I've always gone home, and I've ventured a little far, and the dream was like home, I guess. I don't know. I'll get over it.
If you ever need to talk, I'm right here for you. I mean, if you're willing to listen to my problems, I sure as hell am willing to listen to yours.
Chris seems to relax at that, and her shoulders drop a little, and she gives a small, sad yet sincere smile to Z, obviously comforted. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
It's really no problem.
Chris?
Yeah.
You haven't realized till this point, but you have just recognized / remembered from when you first felt it that you've been holding your rabbit against your chest because when you woke up, that's where they were. And you've just now recognized that they've been held in your hand against your chest this whole time.
I lean my head down and slowly press my nose against the rabbit, obviously feeling comfort in my companion.
You get the little nose wiggles. And in fact, everyone, your animal companion's belt has returned to being a belt. Zazu is away, so Dusk Farron has coiled around you and has been waiting, it seems, and Spinner. Neris, you literally are right beneath Spinner, just laying on top of you as you are laid face down.
It seems like they know something we don't.
Well, this is just kind of how I sleep with Spinner when we're out on the roads, but...
Yeah, that's fair.
Good way to sleep.
Spinner kicks up a bunch of dirt behind her and kind of presses into you harder, Neris, just kind of angrily.
She doesn't seem that happy with that answer.
The morning is yours.
Well, I hear a big old hug around the neck.
You feel just a drop in the haunches of just relief.
Well, Z's standing there with no animal companion at the moment, just kind of, should we get going? We have to.
Z, would you like to give Spinner a hug?
It's
Zazu
not.
isn't here.
Oh, I would never hug Zazu. He's not a companion. He's more of a watchdog, honestly, for a certain someone. But, sure. If it's not any trouble or anything.
No, I'm sure she would be fine with it.
I pet the goat. Pet the big old goat.
Make
as they're having their exchange.
Animal handling check.
Animal handling. Do you want to have it?
Yeah, Chris.
As they're having their exchange, Chris puts the rabbit away and starts putting on all of the fucking intricate armor that is a bitch.
Z doesn't sleep with his poncho on, nor does he sleep with his breastplate on, so y'all are just seeing his full bare chest. Titties.
His sexy, sexy bare chest.
That is a 17 animal handling.
Yeah, that'll do it for Spinner. You very cautiously and gently start to pet Spinner, and Spinner is glaring at you for the first 2 seconds, and you have a bit of trepidation as you're undergoing this action, but then Spinner just turns away and closes her eyes, and it's a very pleasant interaction. It's very soft, extremely soft.
I'm used to petting. I'm not used to petting fur, so it's a very weird experience.
She gets angry if I don't groom her properly, so that is.
I suppose anyone would.
Oh, she's very upset with me.
That's sad to hear, but I guess it keeps you on the good upkeep. What about you, Hangover? You ready to get going on the road soon? Or not?
Dusk has just been staring off into space this whole time. And he doesn't answer.
Chris, snaps her fingers in front of his face.
What?
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright. If you need a few moments at all, just let us know. We can stop. As important as this is to me, you're my party, and you're also important. So, just keep that in mind.
Dusk just nods and then stands up.
Alright,
Z, give me a perception check. With advantage.
Okay, good, because I rolled a 5 on the first one. Okay, that's way better. Alright, perception, that's a 17 again. The first 17? Roll was a 6, and the next one... No, the first roll was a 5, and the second was a 16.
You feel the slightest amount of slack in your black scarf.
Huh. That puts a very big smile on Z's face as he just tugs at it a bit under his... Because his scarf was still on before he put back on his armor and his breastplate and shawl. You
tug on it, and it's not giving.
But it's not
It's slightly looser than it was. Yes,
it's
correct.
Looser, though, and he's just, so excited. Well, not excited. He's just more relieved and happy, I suppose.
You all gear up and get ready to set off. And as you continue your way south, the second you break through the trees, you find yourselves beneath a cliff, which is weird. The mountains would be to your left, but this is completely out of alignment with that. And at the base of this cliff, you see a stone door set into the cliff face.